the regular council meeting. We're going to begin with our caucus. There is one motion. There are 22 first readings. There are 6 first reading passage requests. 2024065. Mark Potter will address council.
Good afternoon, members of council. Mark Potter, Summit County Council Office. So Bath Township filed a petition for a drainage improvement project with our office. Now this project is going to be done through this project is going to be done as part of the relatively new Surface Water Management District. The engineer, it's my understanding, is as these projects go forward, they're going to be recommended that they come through as part of this petition process, which is outlined in the Ohio Revised Code. Now, there's a mechanism within the Ohio Revised Code that kind of allows for easements that will be necessary as part of completing the project. What's in front of you here with the legislation tonight, excuse me, is what we have to do as part of following that petition process, including setting the date for the public viewing, the first public hearing. We have to notice it in the newspaper, and we're actually going to be getting a bunch of letters out to the property owners tomorrow. So this kind of sets that all in motion to get started. I'm happy to answer any questions, and I think Heidi's in the back if there's any more specifics on the project itself.
And Heidi, you can probably support this too, but this is that whole drainage petition process that was put together. Bath Township was the first to step up and basically put a fee in front of their residents, and this is part of that process. Am I right?
Yes. So, yeah, Bath joined the Surface Water Management District first when we and then with the ditch petition process, we're using it in conjunction with the Surface Water Management District. If you, and maybe Mr. Schmidt might remember from several years ago, we've had a few ditch petitions come before council. They always hit a roadblock because, residents don't want to pay the assessments that come with a ditch improvement through the process, or, nobody knows where to front the preliminary design money. It either needs to come out of the motor vehicle and gas tax fund or the general fund, and nobody wants to do that. So this way, we hopefully will reduce a lot of that heartburn because there's not going to be an assessment cost. There will be assessments. They will be paid by the Surface Water Management District, though. They won't be paid by the residents. And then obviously the Surface Water Management District will pay for the design costs. So this will hopefully make the process go much smoother now.
And out of, curiosity, will we have to do the full petition process every time we do a project? Like notice them, do a public hearing? Will we communicate in those notices that this is a little different from a funding perspective? I know those hearings tend to not be super productive or fruitful because of what you just outlined.
Right. Yes and yes. Yep, it's already in the letter, letting people know.
Thank you. And my question was, does council do those notifications and then advertise, or does the engineer's office?
We do the council, yes.
Crowdest I've ever seen the most crowded I've ever seen the chamber is during a ditch petition process.
Down the road, at some time, will the residents be required to pay for their stormwater like other communities do, or will this only be?
Well, they will be paying, but they'll just be paying part of that monthly fee. Yes, the Surface Water Management District starting in, effective 2024, but actually collections in 2025 on the property tax bills, residents will be paying a fee on that. And that's where the revenue is coming in, so we'll use that money to take care of most of the assessments. If there's anything above and beyond, if they request something special, there may be a possibility down the road, that would be something the property owners would have to pay for. But for right now, we don't plan on additional.
Any
Madam
further
President.
questions? Oh, Mr. Ford?
So could you give me like a 20-second explanation of the ditch petition, if you can? If not, let's plan to talk later. But
Okay.
I'm curious about making sure I understand.
Well, in 1803,
Can we start in 24?
yes, I actually have a process that is on our website that I'll send you a link to that kind of spells out the whole process. But for the most part, our ditch laws haven't been updated since the 50s. And this is one of the only mechanisms that we have provided for in state law to actually make ditch improvements because of the restrictions on what, motor vehicle and gas tax can only be used on roads, that kind of thing. So this is a way to address ditching.
I'll just chime in to kind of give you a little more background. Like when someone has a flooding issue in their basement, persistent flooding on their property, and they've tried everything, their next step is to contact the county engineer, particularly in townships and villages. And then they come out and do a study, and usually that study shows that somebody needs to pay to do massive sewer work. And so then we send out a letter to all the residents in the watershed or in that footprint and say, we're considering levying a fee on you to do this important work. And then when somebody gets a letter saying we might give them a fee, they all show up here and we don't ever have consensus on how to move forward. And it is truly the only recourse residents have under state law to address water problems and it's mostly in residential neighborhoods that were built before we had consistent zoning laws for village and township on how to build and structure sewers. Did I get that mostly right?
Nailed it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Use an impression.
And most cities have a fee. I pay a $5 monthly fee to the city of Stowe. So a town covers its own water issues. So depending on where you live, and township, other places have nothing.
Right.
Thank you.
Sure.
I would say to Liz's, Councilman Walters' point, don't get too excited because there is going to be another ditch petition coming that's the traditional route that will have a similar piece of legislation for, I think, April 1st. So that one, I don't know, we'll see how that goes. But
Yeah, that's a different case, yeah.
But I also was concerned, kind of to your point about how many of these are we going to have? But Heidi told me, that it's not going to be necessarily like a 6 times a year kind of a process, hopefully, right?
Yeah, so, well, especially now because we have such a capital-heavy program using the ARPA dollars. So we've got about 18 projects lined up to do in the next 2 years. After that, it'll taper off, though, sorry.
Is there any further comments? You okay with this, Mr.? Okay, thank you. 2024066, Holly Miller is here to address council.
Holly Miller, Department of Community and Economic Development. This is a piece of legislation to purchase the software and licensing for the cameras in the University of Akron camera project. Probably 2 or 3 years ago, you guys approved purchasing the cameras and surveying and architects and contractors for the project. This is for the actual product, the Milestone and Brief Cam product and licensing and 2-year maintenance for these cameras. On a side note, outside of this, all of the cameras should be up and installed by April 1st.
The project company, they're here in Summit County.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, they do all of our buildings here, so they were best practical source for this. And we purchased the cameras from them as well. Yeah.
Any further questions? Are you okay with this, Aaron? 2024067, Mr. Bill Holland is here to address council.
Good evening, everybody. Bill Holland from the Sheriff's Office. My legislation's not near that interesting. I'm here to just discuss some Dodge Durangos that are going to be marked for use in our patrol bureau. We're asking for first reading passage because they're on the lot and they're available and they're not easy to get. These were approved through capital improvements, so we're just here to get this process rolling to get these Durangos.
Any questions? You okay with this, Aaron? Next is 2024068, and again, Mr. Holland is to address council.
Thank you. Eerily similar to the previous piece. These are Ford Interceptors to be used again for patrol. We were able to get these 7. I'm sorry, these are the same, but just with Montrose Auto Group. So we were able to, through capital improvements, we got them approved, and we actually have the vehicles available. So that's why we're asking for first reading passage. Two separate vendors, best practical source.
Thank you. Any questions? Aaron, are you okay with this one? Next is 2024069. Lisa Scupura is here to address council.
Good evening. My legislation is even less boring than his. I'm here to request first reading passage. As you know, that the auditor of state is required to conduct the financial audit each year, or they can hire an independent accounting firm to do so. They have chosen to do the audit for us this year. We are asking for a resolution to have them conduct the audit, and the engagement letter fees are not to exceed of $143,141. Are there any questions?
Thank you. Are you okay with that, John? Yes. Next is 2024070. Phil Montgomery to address council.
Thank you, Madam President. Phil Montgomery from the Executive's Department of Finance and Budget. We have our weekly appropriation legislation before council. The first item is an increase in appropriations for a grant council approved in the last cycle. There was $55,000 was already approved in the operating budget. This was an increase passed by council, so we need to up the appropriation there. Children's Services is just adjusting appropriations between 2 of their line items. The next one is a change order to Boak & Sons for a capital improvement project, also previously approved by council. The next 2 are in the Surface Water Management District. One is a reduction in appropriations for items that were budgeted in the capital budget, but council had approved them separately because we needed to move them a little sooner, so we just need to back these appropriations down. The next one is an increase to appropriations under engineer capital projects for pieces that were already approved by council. The next section for Department of Sanitary Sewer Services, we have a change order with Jones and Henry Engineers, and then we have the appropriation of an OWDA loan for a project in sewer. And then the last item on the next page is an appropriation for an insurance claim that was repaid to the sewer services and needs to be appropriated to be able to expend those funds as needed in the claims. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Do we have any questions? If not, thank you, Phil. There are no late filings. We have routine legislation on pages found on pages 7 through 9. There is 1 second reading. There are 0 third readings. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Councilwoman Bethany McKinney, and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Here.
Ms. Hyam?
Here.
Mr. Donofrio? Here. Mr. DeVitas? Here. Ms. Dickinson?
Here.
Mr. Ford?
Here.
Mr. Wilhite?
Here.
Ms. Darrow?
Here.
Ms. Rogers? Here. Ms. McKinney?
Here.
Ms. Walters?
Here.
May I have a motion to approve the minutes of March 4th, 2024?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motions for council, M035-2024. A motion of council confirming the appointment of Ms. Rita Darrow, replacing Veronica Sims, with Mr. Brandon Ford as alternate to the Summit County Land Reutilization Corporation Board.
I have a motion on M035-2024. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries.
First readings, 2024-065. A resolution authorizing the publication and legal notices for the proposed public improvement known as the Y Road Flood Mitigation and Improvements Project Phase 2, located in Bath Township, and setting dates for the public viewing and public hearing pursuant to Section 6131.07 of the Ohio Revised Code for council emergency.
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules and adopt 2024-065.
I have a motion to suspend the rules and adopt 2024-065 on the suspension. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And on the adoption, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
2024-066, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a professional service contract with Protect Security Incorporated as a best practical source for Protect milestone licenses, software, and support for the University of Akron Security Camera Project located in the City of Akron in Council District 4 in an amount not to exceed $283,486.04 for the Executive's Department of Community and Economic Development emergency.
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules and adopt 2024-066.
I have a motion to suspend the rules and adopt 2024-066 on the suspension. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And on the adoption, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
2024-067, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a purchase contract with Fred Martin Superstore as a best practical source for 10 2024 Dodge Durango pursuant vehicles in a total amount not to exceed $416,680 for the sheriff emergency.
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules and adopt 2024-067.
I have a motion to suspend the rules and adopt 2024-067 on the suspension. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And on the adoption, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
2024-068, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a purchase contract with Montrose Auto Group as a best practical source for 7 2023 Dodge Police Interceptor utility vehicles in a total amount not to exceed $293,622.46 for the sheriff emergency.
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules and adopt 2024-068.
I have a motion to suspend the rules and adopt 2024-068 on the suspension. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And on the adoption, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
2024-069, a resolution authorizing the executive to execute an intergovernmental agreement with the Ohio Auditor of State for the 2023 financial audit for the County of Summit in an amount not to exceed $143,141 for the Internal Audit Department emergency.
Madam President, move to suspend the rules and adopt 069.
I have a motion to suspend the rules and adopt 2024-069 on the suspension. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
No.
Ms. Hyam?
Yes.
Mr. Donofrio? Mr. DeVitas?
Yes.
Ms. Dickinson?
Yes.
Mr. Ford?
Yes.
Mr. Wilhite?
Yes.
Ms. Darrell?
Yes.
Ms. Rogers?
Yes.
Ms. McKinney?
Yes.
Ms. Walters?
Yes.
And on the adoption, all in favor?
Yeah.
Any opposed?
No.
Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
No.
Ms. Hyam?
Yes.
Mr. Donofrio? Mr. DeVitas?
Yes.
Ms. Dickinson?
Yes.
Mr. Ford?
Yes.
Mr. Wilhite?
Yes.
Ms. Darrell?
Yes.
Ms. Rogers?
Yes.
Ms. McKinney?
Yes.
Ms. Walters?
Yes.
Motion carries.
2024-070, a resolution appropriating funds in order to meet a projected expenditures for the balance of 2024 as set forth in Exhibit A for the Executive's Department of Finance and Budget emergency.
Madam President, move to suspend the the rules and adopt 2024-070.
I have a motion to suspend the rules and adopt 2024-070 on the suspension. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And on the adoption, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
2024-071, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a professional service contract with EnviroScience Incorporated for the final design of the Copley Ditch and Black Pond Outlet Stream Restoration Project located in the Copley Township and Council District 5 in an amount not to exceed $565,018 for the engineer emergency. 2024-072, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a purchase contract with Ken Ganley Ford at less than CUE pricing for 4 2024 Ford F-150 pickup trucks in an amount not to exceed $167,854.52 for the engineer emergency. 2024-073, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a purchase contract with Akron Tractor and Equipment at Sourcewell pricing for 2 Kubota S-Series skid steers and a total amount not to exceed $112,583.42 for the engineer emergency. 2024-074, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a construction contract with Greystone Construction at Sourcewell pricing for the removal and replacement of the salt dome cover located at 1928 Boston Mills Road, Peninsula in Council District 1 in an amount not to exceed $159,690 for the engineer emergency. 2024-075, a resolution authorizing the executive to advertise for bids for the purchase of a tri-axle dump trailer for an amount not to exceed $88,000 for the Executive's Department of Sanitary Sewer Services emergency. 2024-076, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a purchase contract with Bright Computers as a best practical source for the purchase of 25 in-car GoodTak computers in an amount not to exceed $112,500 for the sheriff emergency. 2024-077, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a renewal, fourth and final, of a professional service contract with Sadler Niekamp Financial Services Incorporated, doing business as ProWare, as a best practical source for case management system, software support, and maintenance services for a one-year term from 1/1/24 through 12/31/24 for an amount not to exceed $207,930 for the Court of Common Pleas General Division emergency. 2024-078, a resolution approving and adopting the Summit County Hazard Mitigation Plan for the Executive's Department of Public Safety Emergency Management Agency emergency. 2024-079, a resolution declaring the month of April 2024 as Autism Acceptance Month in Summit County, recognizing all individuals in our community on the autism spectrum and celebrating the numerous ways in which they contribute to our communities and our lives for the executive emergency. 2024-080, a resolution declaring the month of April 2024 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in the County of Summit and encouraging residents to join in this acknowledgement and wear blue on April 10, 2024 for the executive emergency. 2024-081, a resolution declaring the month of April 2024 as Minority Health Month in Summit County, recognizing the health inequalities facing minority communities and encouraging all health organizations to conduct appropriate programs and activities to promote healthfulness in minority communities for the executive emergency. 2024 082, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a professional service contract with Ward and Associates for countywide sexennial appraisal services for the valuation of all land and buildings for all commercial, industrial, and exempt and public utilities real estate in Summit County for property taxation for tax year 2026 in an amount not to exceed $848,000 for the fiscal officer emergency. 2024-083, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a professional service contract with Ward and Associates for appraisal services for the valuation of commercial, industrial, and exempt buildings considered new or altered and land splits of the same classification for the 2024 real estate tax year in an amount not to exceed $148,000 for the fiscal officer emergency. 2024-084, a resolution authorizing the executive, subject to the approval of the Board of Control, to execute the purchase of contracts for liability, boiler, and machinery property, and other miscellaneous and necessary insurance coverage for a one-year term from 4/15/24 through 4/15/25 in an amount not to exceed $1,864,524 payable through Witchert Insurance Services Incorporated, doing business as Witchert Insurance for the Executive's Department of Law and Risk Management emergency. 2024-085, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a professional service contract with Telecommunication Technologies Group, LLC, as a best practical source for cellular support services, including analysis of current cellular services, bill review, and contract management and consulting for a 3-year term for a total amount not to exceed $130,000 for the Office of Information Technology Emergency. 2024-086, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a renewal, first and two, of a professional service contract with Advise X Technologies, LLC, for Pure Storage Solution for SAN for a one-year term from 5/1/2024 through 4/30/2025 in an amount not to exceed $104,580 for the Office of Information Technology Emergency.
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules and adopt the routine legislation found on pages 7 through 9.
I have a motion to suspend and adopt the rules. I have a motion to suspend and adopt routine legislations found on pages 7 through 9. On the suspension, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And on the adoption, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries.
Second readings, 2024-057, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control, subject to the approval of the Information Technology Board, of a purchase contract with Flock Group Incorporated as a best practical source for the installation and operation of license plate reader cameras located in the City of Greene and Council District 8 in an amount not to exceed $92,100, and authorizing the executive to execute a reimbursement agreement for the amount of $92,100 with the City of Greene for the Sheriff's Office emergency.
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules and adopt 2024-057.
I have a motion to suspend the rules and adopt 2024-057. On the suspension, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Roll call.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Hyam,
Yes.
Mr. Donafrio,
Yes.
Mr. DeVitas,
No.
Ms. Dickinson,
Yes.
Mr. Ford,
Yes.
Mr. Wilhite,
Yes.
Ms. Darrell,
Yes.
Ms. Rogers,
Yes.
Ms. McKinney,
Yes.
Ms. Walters,
Yes.
And on the adoption, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Roll call.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Hyam,
Yes.
Mr. Donafrio,
Yes.
Mr. DeVitas,
No.
Ms. Dickinson,
Yes.
Mr. Ford, Mr. Wilhite,
Yes.
Ms. Darrow,
Yes.
Ms. Rogers,
Yes.
Ms. McKinney,
Yes.
Ms. Walters.
Yes.
Motion carries. Do we have any further business?
Yeah,
Oh,
Madam President.
Mr. Smith?
Yeah, I want to call everyone's attention to the press release we got this morning from the prosecutor's office regarding the fentanyl awareness campaign. I urge everyone to read that press release. It's really important, this kind of thing. And I'm going to read a little bit of it, if Madam President, if I may.
Yes.
A note from Nick highlights dangers with drugs. One pill can kill. Akron, Ohio, Monday, March 18. Summit County Prosecutor Elliot Kokovich announced today that the Summit County Prosecutor's Office has launched a month-long fentanyl awareness campaign. The campaign focuses on the concern that one pill can kill, where people may not realize a pill they get at a party or from a friend is laced with a deadly drug. The campaign involves billboards placed throughout Summit County as well as information on the prosecutor's office social media outlets and website, and will highlight the story of Nicholas Sigfirth, the son of a prosecutor's office employee, who many of us know, who overdosed at a party after taking a pill that he thought, he certainly didn't think that he could. And this is the problem with this stuff nowadays. It can be in marijuana, it can be in anything that anybody sells as street drugs can contain fentanyl. Even meth, which is an amphetamine, but they put fentanyl in it, which I believe is opposite of and Gloria, you would know, that's the opposite of amphetamine. Why would they put that in there? Who knows? But they're doing it so people get a cheap high. And the billboards will show a picture of Nick with the hashtag, a note from Nick, as well as the words, don't risk it, fentanyl kills. So this is very important, and if the media is listening this evening, if they would please concentrate on this and try to get the word out about this. We had Donna Skota down here a couple of months ago to pass out the Narcan kits, and many of us took those, and it's in the glove compartment of my vehicle. I think that's probably the best place for it, for me to remember where it is and grab it if something happens. You just don't know what's going to happen. This kid, Nick, go to his obituary, Clifford Shoemaker Funeral Home, and Google his name. Well, not Google, but look it up on the obituaries and read about him. He was an outstanding football player for Cog Falls High School. He was about ready to join. He was 2 weeks away from induction into the United States Army. And this kind of stupid stuff happens. And some people don't take it seriously. And, they won't carry that Narcan. Believe me, if something happens, and you never know who it's going to happen to.
Right.
There could be somebody in this, we all, think, oh, it never happened to us or anybody we know. I don't know. I mean, everybody has been touched by this, I think. Somebody that they know, extended family or friends or neighbors. And we have to concentrate on this and try to get something done about it. And that Prosecutor Kolkovich is concentrating on this right away, I think is to his credit. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. Please go to the email that we got at 8:59 this morning and read that press release.
Right. And
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. And Councilman, Mr. Schmidt, too, which I never even knew this, that you can actually die on Suboxone. A child just recently died, 2 years old, that I just found out through family that a baby just died, and the parents were both on Suboxone. I had no idea that a child can die from Suboxone, but if you are on Suboxone, you should put that stuff up so a child cannot get a hold of that. That is just so devastating that children had to say goodbye to a little brother. So, any further?
Yeah, thanks.
We're adjourned.